Hi, and welcome to Preview. My name is Guy Giampapa. Preview.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1, cue Guy.
Hello and welcome to Preview. My name is Guy Giampapa. We have two lovely guests today. They're actresses appearing in St. John the Divine in Iowa, a play now being performed at the Boston Playwrights Theater. And they'll be here in a few minutes to talk about the play and their life as actresses. But before we do that, I've got some very interesting news. Broadway in Boston made an announcement a few nights ago telling us that the Colonial Theater is going to reopen in December of this year. Now, that's something, because that means the Colonial Theater will have been in use for 112 years, and I don't think any other theater in the country can say that. But they've got a great lineup. Broadway in Boston is opening their season with War Horse. Now, this you might have seen the movie, the Steven Spielberg movie, but the stage production contains Muppets. They're life-size horses, and it's the most imaginable thing you've ever seen. That's going to be at the Opera House in October. And then in December, the Colonial reopens with Memphis. Now, that's a Tony Award-winning musical. It's very exciting. Following that, the Jersey Boys are back. They're coming to the Colonial Theater also in January. And we've got Mary Poppins and Wicked are coming back also. Mary Poppins, yeah. And something that hasn't happened in 7 years is happening again in Boston. Next June, the world premiere of a new play, or new musical, I should say, called Tuck Everlasting, will try out here in Boston. That's something we haven't seen in a long time, and I hope it's everything they want it to be, and it goes on to a smash success on Broadway. Well, there are a couple of other shows. Let's see now. After Tuck Everlasting, which, as I said, was in June at the Colonial Theater. Broadway in Boston is bringing back Wicked, which I said, and I guess that's about it. It's quite a lineup, a great lineup. Broadway in Boston continues. They're now, I think, in their 13th year. Well, that's the news from the theater on Broadway in Boston, but I want to talk about some other theater news. A little bit of Ireland is headed to Boston celebrating St. Patrick's Day on March 17th and 18th. Once again, the Regal Music Theatre of Boston is celebrating this wonderful day with a feast of Irish music, some folk dancing, and lighthearted blarney to wash away the winter blues. Now in its 14th year, this Emerald extravaganza is designed to welcome springtime to the masses.
Just to make the shamrocks grow, 'tis the only place you'll find them, no matter where you go. They dotted it with silver to make its legs so grand, and when they had it finished, sure they called it Ireland.
We watched the small frigates fly. Our love was on the wing. We had dreams and songs to sing. It's so lonely round the fields of Athenry.
And out of my pocket I took sovereign's bride, and the landlady's eyes opened wide with delight. She said, I have whiskies and wines of the best, and the words that I censor were surely in jest. And it's no, nay, never, no more, till I play one over, no, never, no more. Little Jimmy Donnelly goes skipping out onto the porch of his house. He sees his grandfather sitting there. He says, Grampy, Grampy, do your impersonation of the frog. He says, what are you ever talking about? I can't impersonate a frog. Whatever made you think a thing like that? He said, but I was just in the kitchen, and Grammy said that when you croak, we're all going to go to Disney World.
This year, world-famous Gaelic fiddler Seamus Connolly joins the Regal Gang, bringing his internationally acclaimed talent to a number of traditional Irish tunes. World champion Irish step dancer Liam Harney, who performed the role made famous by Michael Flatley in the London production of Riverdance, returns once again with his electrifying troupe from the Harney Academy of Irish Step Dancing here in Walpole. Judy Ross of Burlington is also back, leading an ensemble of 12 heavenly pedal harp players ranging from age 7 to 70. And local comedian and Regal favorite Harold Jerry Walker gets Irish eyes smiling with a barrage of riotous jokes and stories told with an impish grin and a charm of a leprechaun. All this and Broadway star Sarah Pfisterer, along with Rusty Russell, sing old-time favorites, Danny Boy, Harrigan, and the Irish Blessing. Don't miss a little bit of Ireland at the Regal Music Theatre of Boston on March 17th and 18th. You won't be disappointed. Jonathan Mirren, who is the artistic director of the Pity Theatre Company, tells me he'll be presenting his third annual Syrup, One Sweet Performing Arts Festival in Shelburne Falls on March 17th. If you're a Bostonian and are headed out to Shelburne Falls in the Pioneer Valley this month for the syrup season, you are cordially invited to the third annual Syrup, One Sweet Performing Arts Festival at Memorial Hall in Shelburne Falls. The festival is fun for the entire family. The matinee includes the Pity Theatre Company's production of Elmer and the Elder Tree and the internationally renowned ballet mime artist Karen Montanaro. The evening performance features Miss Montanaro's full-length production of Tan Spiel, plus Northampton singer Carrie Ferguson, and of course, Jonathan Mirren. Jonathan also tells me he will be in the Boston area again on June 2nd as part of the Cambridge River Festival with his new production of To Be or Not to Be, and B is spelled with two E's, not to be confused with Shakespeare. Jonathan was last here in April of 2010, appearing in his play 28 Feet. At that time, he was a guest here on Preview. We look forward to seeing him again. At the beginning of the program, I told you I was going to have two actresses on our show today, two actresses who were appearing in St. John the Divine in Iowa at the Boston Playwrights Theater. Well, I was mistaken. We have one actress from that play, and her name is Rachel Fisher-Parkman, right?
That's
Hi, Rachel.
correct.
It's
Hi,
nice
Guy.
to see you.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, you're quite welcome. Rachel, you and I share a lot of things together. You work for our accountant here in Walpole.
That's right, Amichetti and DeLuca.
That's all I'm going to say about that.
Oh, okay, sorry.
No problem. But I do want to talk to you about your theater background. You're appearing in this play.
Yes.
And although your part isn't a large part, you are in it. Now tell me what part you play and what you do.
I play Frances, who is a very conservative, uptight suburbanite, Episcopalian church lady.
Yeah.
Which, of course, is a stretch for me, as I am also a conservative, uptight, suburbanite church lady. And she is the senior warden of the vestry of a parish in Iowa that is headed by a priest called Reverend Alexander McCartney. And she has issues with the priest's political views and the way she brings them into the church.
But there's more to it than just that.
Oh, well, you know.
Yeah, I mean, that's the beginning.
Right.
And incidentally, this part is played by
Llewellyn Kay, yes, who is also the playwright and the producer.
Yes, yeah. And she's also produced a movie of the same story.
Well, yes, this script is based on the screenplay.
Yeah.
So I think that the movie itself has not yet been filmed. They've done a trailer for it.
I've seen that.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I think the ultimate goal is for the film itself to be produced.
Well, the storyline of St. John is unique. It's something that we don't see too much of. It's a story about a young lady, a girl who comes home with her lover, who happens to be another female, and she announces that they want to get married.
Right.
And there's a great dilemma between the father and the mother. Tell me more about that.
About the dilemma between the mother and the
Yes,
father? Well,
yeah.
I think that dilemma is more based in their own marital issues. The Reverend Alex is very open to new ideas, as is Charlie, the husband. What winds up occurring, though, is that they find out that the lover really isn't interested in being monogamous within the marriage. Yeah. And both parents really have an issue with that, but they handle it very differently, and their response to the issue is very different. And I think a lot of the conflict between those two characters stems from that.
From that, you know. And your part, you told me you are a church lady.
Yes, I'm the head of the vestry, which is kind of like the board of overseers.
Do you have any influence over the Reverend?
I think my character would like to have more influence than she does.
Really?
But I think she thinks she has more influence.
But
I think
she
she
really?
probably she has a great deal of influence over the rest of the vestry. And of course the vestry, in turn holds the reins for the Reverend's employment. So in that way she does, but I don't think she has much sway over the Reverend's viewpoints and how she responds to political issues at church.
This Llewellyn, I'm sorry if I mispronounced that name. I found her to be very intriguing. I mean,
she's
the
fabulous.
part that she played, really.
Yeah, well, she is a Meisner-trained actress. In fact, she teaches the Meisner acting technique in classes in Boston.
Okay.
She's a phenomenal teacher, a wonderful director, and of course an amazing actress, as you got to experience. And the Meisner technique is based in realism and in reacting and in maintaining a very close connection with your scene partners. And she does that in a way that's almost unparalleled in this
Apparently
area.
she did a lot of research on the role that she played, because it was sitting there